Here comes.
All right, welcome everybody to 80s Miami. And this is, no, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the Forge, everyone. My name is Jimmy G in the place to be, and I got Billy the Kid, who's going to introduce all of our wonderful friggin' special guests. So, Billy, why don't you take it away and kind of say hey to everyone in the chat and tell everyone hello and what's up?
All right, let's effing go. So real quick, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Forge. Jimmy, my partner here on this beautiful Sunday night, who is giving up his Chiefs game. I'm sorry, buddy. We've got such a killer show here. We've got quite a few people from my favorite convention in the United States, TFCON. We've got Ryan Sheehy. We've got Paul Scorez. Hopefully I don't screw everybody's names up. We've got Larry, Jaws, John, Evan, and Kermit. Hi there. Hi. And we've got some amazing people in the chat too. So welcome, guys. I don't even know how to say, tell us a little bit about yourselves. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go first. My name's Ryan. I host the third-party panel and display at TFCON.
Sweet. Cool. Next.
Sweet.
My name is Paul Scorez. I am the AV guy.
The guy that makes the world go round. Awesome. Who's next?
I'm Larry. I usually run the premium guests, and that's about it.
Awesome.
My name is Wendell, aka Jaws D. I'm usually a guest liaison, and I usually kind of run around and help out people when they need it, basically.
Nice. So we got
I'm
John's
John,
our next
TFCon
one.
staff member 2009. Yeah. So John here, TFCon staff member since 2009. You'll see me sometimes helping out during registration, but mostly I'm in the panel room doing the emceeing kind of intros, outros to all of our great panels.
Awesome. And last but not least,
I'm Evan. I have been to every TFCon since 2004, so that's sort of the feather in my cap. So I have footage going back, I guess, over 20 years now.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
This is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
So some of it's
That's
on
amazing.
the TFCon YouTube channel. I was asked to pop in tonight and say hi and share some stories. So here I am. This is Imaginary Kermit. You may have seen him wandering around TFCon sometimes, and he wanted to say hi too. Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm so happy. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So before we get into it, we do have a lot of people that have joined us in this chat well before the show even started. And I do like to give them all a little bit of a spotlight before we start going. So John Doe 4880 was the first here. They were like 10, 15 minutes early. They came in to say hello. And the one and only Big Easy, Big E is here every single week. So what is up, Big Easy? We got Big M as well, not to be confused with Big Easy. Big M's a regular of ours. Super, super cool. And I think I saw Primal Parodies in there as well. We've got Candace, who I would imagine all of you know Candace pretty well.
Yeah.
Candace is the best. So thank you for joining us. And yeah, we've got a nice little show going up. And I can't forget Autocorrect Primer. This is Derek. He runs community for all of us. He's a very nice, welcoming YouTuber, really great guy. And the machine is here as well. Yeah, the machine.
All I can think of is
wonderful.
what's his name?
Bert Kreischer.
Yes,
Dr.
yeah,
Oculus?
the machine. All right. Anyway, go ahead, Billy. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
All right. So no, we are well on our way. Guys, thank you for joining us. All right. This is something that we kind of stormed together, Jimmy, Ryan, myself, where we said, you know, TFCon Chicago's coming up. You guys always put together these events, and there's never really, that I've seen, any spotlight on you guys. So we wanted to do a show where we brought in some of these TFCon members, and we just maybe go over some stories and some fun facts and just things that make TFCon magical. And for me, it's just so special because I grew up going to BotCon, right? I went to, my first BotCon was 2001. I went to several others with a very good friend that Ryan and I share, and it just kind of became a family thing. And then BotCon dies and TFCon pops up, and it's this beautiful fan run event. But you guys do West Coast in the winter. You guys do Canada, let's call it in the spring, summer, and then fall you do like an East Coast run. Call it Florida, call it Chicago, maybe Maryland. I just love that you guys have taken this fan run event and turned it into a very, very big staple of our community. And I want to thank you for that. And I want to hear what you have to say about how you grew and what made TFCon what it is.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear that. But yeah, I my first TFCon was Orlando a few years back. And I remember I was just a starting YouTube channel guy with, I think I had like 100 subscribers or something like that. Maybe, I don't remember how many. And it was just like, I was just there by myself. I'm a very introverted guy, you know, in real life. But it was so cool just being able to see all these people that had a like mind, and they were all loved this plastic crack that we have called Transformers, right? So which is freaking awesome to see that kind of community. And so I would just love to, we would just love to hear from y'all. Like, how did it all get started? What happened? Like where was y'all's minds, or whatever you want to talk about. So let's just open it up, and whoever wants to go first, I'd love to hear from y'all. We want to hear some good stories, some maybe your favorite, maybe your not so favorite, and all that good stuff.
Evan, I think you should take the lead on this one. You've been there the longest out of all of us. You and Colin.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Colin's probably the only one that's been there longer, I guess.
Yeah,
Probably.
Well, Kermit here.
You might be a little more invested.
Kermit here started appearing at shows just for fun. Mostly, you know, it might not have actually been a TFCon, but I was on door duty one time, and I almost felt like a jerk. Like, hey, you kid, did you buy a ticket? Show me your wristband right now. But I got Kermit to ask to see your wristband. Hey, can I see your wristband? All right, come right in. Yay! And, you know, that made it so much more fun. And then Kermit started interviewing some of the guests on occasion. And Frank Tadaro has come around with me a few times. He works Kermit's arms while we walk around and say hi to people in the evenings. And so while Kermit is not an official staff member, he's sort of part of the family. Yeah, nice. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Mascot.
Yeah, I love it. As far as me, my first TFCon was 2004. I interviewed David Kay, and then so he was my big first celebrity interview. If you want,
that's awesome.
If you want to say that,
yeah, that's a great interview. Let's call it like
and,
that.
So we did the following year, we did like a souvenir DVD. We did souvenir DVDs for a number of years. And then I guess with COVID, I kind of fell behind, and then I just didn't. Physical media is dead, but I love physical media. But, and I just never
don't need a license.
Yeah, I just never brought it back, but maybe one day. But there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. And so anyway, I met David Kay, and then I didn't see him again for a couple of years, and I was at another convention helping another guy shoot some stuff, and he was a guest, and I didn't even know if he'd remember me as such. Like, it was, I don't know, 2 or 3 years later, and he's signing a picture of the Spectral from Reboot.
Oh,
and
that's
he
awesome.
Holds it up for the camera, and he's like, "Hey, I've never signed one of these before," and playing it up for the camera and everything. And then he his line kind of dies down and he sets his stuff down and he turns around and he's like, "So how you doing, Evan?" And I'm like, "Oh, he remembered my name." And we've like I mentioned David Kay because he was the first one that I met anyway. But we've had so many great guests. I've got some great interviews with Morgan Lofting and Dan Gilvazan over the years.
So awesome.
And, David Sobolov. All three of those are fans of Kermit. I think they all have Kermit interviews.
I love that.
Paul, the AV guy,
we
met because we mentioned Duncan earlier before the show started, I think. And he had helped me set up some playback stuff. Oh, did we freeze? Oh, am I still?
No.
Okay, maybe it was just my end.
No, you're here. We got
we
you.
set up some playback stuff the night before, and then the next day it wasn't quite working properly. And Paul, being an AV guy, just happened to be in the audience, and he came up and rescued me. So then Paul just became the AV guy because I'm like, I got Kermit, so you do the AV thing. That's exactly how it went.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love that.
So
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a good segue. Yeah. So 2007 was my first TFCon as an attendee. I just came to go. My buddy of mine had been telling me to go to TFCon. We were boys from high school, loved Transformers, but I kept kind of whatever. I didn't get into the convention scene, but then Michael Bell was the guest, right? So like Prowl and Swoop, my favorite Dinobot.
That's a great guest.
Autobot and Dinobots. So I figured, okay, let's go see Michael Bell. And went in the line, ask a question, and this guy's bumbling to do the, because at that time, before every guest went up for the Q&A, we would run a sizzle reel to introduce them, right? So it'd be some clips from the shows and whatever, and TFCon, welcome, is this guy, right? So they kind of fumbled through it. I went over and it's my day job, so it was easy. So I fixed it up and we got to go. And then after the show, like Colin was really appreciative, and I got talking to him. And the rest is history. And now I'm kind of the main AV guy that helps put everything together for the show. The Delta Meadowvale, now the Hilton Meadowvale, where we host it in Toronto. Like I worked there for a number of years at that facility. So one of the big reasons we go there is because I worked there, and this just kind of kept rolling there ever since. So that was kind of a nice little connection. But it's been a wild ride. All the way through. Like at first you had unique ones that set each other apart, but we've done so many now, and now we do 3 a year. Like they all kind of meld together a little bit. It's evolved to a point where it's all about these guys right here. Like the three amigos, Evan, John, and myself. We run that panel room 24/7. It's a long haul to make sure the programming is on point. You guys can see everything, hear everything. Everything is crisp and clear. It keeps us on time. Like it's quite the production that we have to kind of go through, right? And guys, we got Wendell and Larry do an excellent job. Wrangling volunteers, working with their guests, making sure they're cool at home. So it is quite the operation that we pull off with a bunch of dudes who love toys. And
that's awesome.
That's kind of my story.
That's a great bunch of dudes, man.
That's a great bunch. Yes, absolutely. How about you, John? How'd you get involved? What was your first experience?
So my first experience as a guest was 2007. Keep in mind, growing up, conventions weren't really a thing that I got a chance to go to, especially like living in rural Canada. So, got my first real job, got some disposable income, came to a Transformers convention, loved it, got absolutely addicted to it. There's nothing quite like just being somewhere where you share the same passion as everyone else. You can talk to anyone else there. You're all there for the same reason. So just fell in love with it. I was a staff member by 2009. And again, like some of the guys have said already, these guys are the guys. These are the reason I keep coming back. Love every one of these guys with all my heart, and just enjoy these TFCon shows are some of the highlights of my year. I call them recharging my nerd batteries.
That's
and
awesome.
what I really enjoyed, I've really enjoyed seeing the show evolve from a 1 year, one time a year show to 3 a year. And each kind of one of our shows has a bit of a different feel now. Like TFCon Toronto, that's kind of our baby. That's kind of our prototype. It's also where we get really experimental. When we when we bring in new guests or we're not sure about a new guest, we often put them in Toronto first. That's our tried, tested, true model. See how things fly there. And we can get away. We do other things in Toronto, like the charity auction as well. We can't do elsewhere. And then, our West Coast show has been really stable, really interesting, like bigger vendors sometimes. And then the LA shows, nonstop voice actors because of proximity of where they live.
So would you say that TFCon Canada is like your WrestleMania, and then LA maybe is like your SummerSlam, and then any of the East Coast shows are like the other premium live events that like
we'll call them
Royal Rumble.
yeah.
We had to watch at 8 o'clock yesterday morning.
That's it.
In Australia.
That's
I think it's
awesome.
funny.
Yeah, my wife's family lives in Australia.
That's
I
awesome.
think it's
Nice.
funny you mentioned the WrestleMania thing, because one year we had a throwdown with Wally Burr, Scott McNeil, and Neil Ross in Toronto, and
That's
they started
incredible.
arguing over Scott's hat, I believe,
Yes.
because Wally wanted to wear it,
Yeah.
and then they did like this whole
that's-
Find that on
wrestling
YouTube. It's
thing, and-
epic. Yeah.
yeah.
That's great.
But-
Oh, that's
Neil was-
amazing.
Neil was the
I love that.
commentator.
That is such a cool story.
That's great. Who wants to go next? Tell us a little bit about how you got involved. What's your first TFCon?
My TFCon was 2012, I think it was. I started as a volunteer, did that for a few years, and then just happened Colin asked me, would you like to look after I think it was Bob was my first guest I ever looked after, and then ever since then that's pretty much all I do. And then
What a terrible
know.
job.
well, it all depends who you get to have to sit with. Let's just, I won't go into it, but
Let's not discount that you got the best
well,
chicken.
that too.
We look forward to it every year. Gus's Chicken has become part of our lexicon at TFCon LA,
Oh, Gus's Chicken.
and it's all thanks to you.
Yeah.
I think about that stuff probably once a week.
I keep
It's all because of
feeling
you.
bad because the one in Chicago closed.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh,
terrible.
man.
painful.
It's a
So you said
genuine
it's
shame.
called Gus's
No,
Chicken?
this is world's
Oh,
famous chicken.
Gus's Chicken.
We have one. We have two of those
I'm
here.
messaging my
in-
LA
in
family
Knoxville.
right now.
What happened was I work in the music industry, and our U.S. plant is in South Haven, Mississippi, which is the founding restaurant. We went there a few times. And
Yeah.
it's really good fried chicken, like Ryan said.
So
And
if you're
it just
if you're
happened
gonna
that I was like, I got Wendell and John addicted to it, and then I kind of
Yeah.
merged some of the other staff, and that was the end of that.
So I think there should be a new strategy. Wherever there's a Gus's Chicken, that should be where the convention
Oh,
is.
no,
You
I
know,
put
so
all in that.
100%.
Yeah.
so
100%
Knoxville,
would support
Tennessee.
that.
Let's make that the next one. So, all right.
So I think Wendell's right. We haven't
Yeah,
heard
sure.
from Wendell yet.
So I think my first TFCon was 2010, and that one was in the DoubleTree. That was like one of the first ones I went to. So that was David Kay, Mark Ryan was there, Derek Wyatt was there. So it was mostly animated stuff going
That's
on,
great.
and so that was pretty cool.
That's great
So that
stuff.
was really cool getting to meet Derek Wyatt and talking with him a bit. And the person that got me into it was Protoman, Daniel. And so from that, he kind of like, hey, Colin, you should have Wendell, join in on staff. And he's like, okay, well, you start off as a volunteer. And as I'm, doing my volunteer thing, I'm like kind of in on the staff meetings and stuff. So it took me a little while, not a little while. I was part of staff, but not officially part of staff. And when we did the first TFCon Chicago, I think, or maybe the second one, I finally got my purple shirt. I got my wings, and I was super happy. It was super awesome.
I love
That's
that.
great. That's great. It's great hearing how everyone started as a fan and then you just grew into it. It's just like you're doing what you love on that. That's so awesome. And so Billy, if you got a question, I've got one, unless you got one to go first.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can go. I kind of
mean,
opened up with some
All of y'all
things
talked
and-
about guests that you kind of like went to go see. So I'd love to hear who was your favorite guest that you've been that was part of your TFCon. Why were they your favorite? Who was your favorite guest? Just love to hear from any of y'all on that one. I know Larry, you've met a lot of them, and every single one of them. But I'd love to hear who's your favorite.
I want to hear Larry's
No,
least
we don't.
favorite.
No, we don't.
This is going to be on the internet.
Larry's
joking,
least
I'm
favorite is my favorite.
We all know who it is too.
Oh wow, that's maybe offline. We'll hear about that after we are live.
No,
right?
no, we don't have to ever bring
Um,
that up. There's no least favorites. We're
My
just joking.
favorite guest. Wow. I guess that's a tough question.
It's like picking your favorite child,
That's
which
a tough
we
one.
all know which one it is.
Yeah.
Well, it's
though.
because I've pretty much sat with most of the big names, but I guess my favorite guest is only because I interact with them even now outside is Aaron Archer.
That's awesome.
Aaron's super nice. Super nice.
Very good. Who else wants to go? Favorite guest?
I'll take next. My favorite is Arthur Burghardt. I love that man. He's the best. Every time I get to pick him up from the train station in LA, what a card. He's so Arthur is the best way I can put it. Just Arthur.
He's so Arthur.
He's so
that's
fun.
it's a new term. You're so Arthur. And now
I find he's very impish. Like
Yeah.
he reminds me of a lot of
Yeah.
older like uncles that I have that are just like like they just having a lot of fun, and a lot of energy.
That's
and all
awesome.
That kind of stuff.
We're gonna pause on favorite guest because John Doe in the comments said, "Tell the story about my figure you saved, Wendell." And I don't know.
Oh,
what is
hi
that?
John, how you doing? So it's TFCon Chicago, and I think John, he was leaving the panel room. So I think I had talked to him before when he got something signed by Michael by Prowl. Who's the voice actor for Prowl?
Bell.
Michael
Michael Bell.
So if I remember right, so we were talking, chatting it up and everything, and I think he had left his figure behind and he just kind of wandered off. And so I can't remember if I held on to the figure or if I brought it to the front and let him know, like, oh no, it's over here. So I ran into him again. And so like John and I have been talking off and on for quite a few years since that TFCon.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So since Kermit, it seems like Kermit is really like wanting to say who his favorite guest he interviewed or whatever it may be. So I'd love to hear from Evan and Kermit. Who was your favorite?
Well, David Sobolov, I've talked to him a few times, and it's fantastic. Morgan Lofting, I got to interview her a few times. I think there might even be an interview that Evan didn't edit yet, if he'd ever get around to that. Someday. There's, like what I was saying before, there's so much footage, and it's so hard to pick one favorite guest. I feel like that's not a fair question, but Morgan Lofting I loved. When she was at shows, we'd try to get lunch or dinner or whatever, and it didn't always work out, but we usually got to hang out a bit. I think there was twice we got to go out for lunch, maybe, thinking back on it. And I have a few voice actor credits to my name. But it's a tough, the voice actors at the show will tell you it's like a tough nut to crack, so to speak.
Yeah.
And one of the shows, I was just chatting to Morgan about it, and she like leans across the table and she takes my hand and she's like, "Evan, you can do this. Just go for it." And
That's awesome.
So I don't know that I've had my big break yet, but that was a really cool moment that's always stuck in my head. Hard to forget.
That's an amazing
times like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Dan Gilvazan and I kind of have done a few interviews where we have witty banter back and forth. Sometimes when I'm looking back editing it, I'm like, have we gone too far here? Do people know we're joking?
Just go.
So many great guests. Who else? Greg Berger's fantastic. Love just sitting and chatting with him. I told you I couldn't pick just one.
That's okay.
It's hard.
This is beautiful. This is
It's a
great.
loaded
This is what
question.
we want to hear.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're all great. Oh, Frank Tadaro.
I love Frank.
Kermit
Frank's
might
a
not
great
have
guy.
as many appearances if it wasn't for Frank, because he was like, "You have Kermit here? Like, go get him. We'll walk around with him. I'll do his arms," and like just so much fun.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
good
really good
stuff.
on that.
So we have a couple more. I'd like to hear from everyone. So who's up next?
I'll go next. So I'll give you three. So from the top end, Mr. Cullen, Peter Cullen. You know, you always have those worries. You know, don't meet your heroes. You know, what if Optimus Prime was a complete douchebag, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But meeting Peter, man, what a gentleman. You know, what a humble, amazing man. And I'll give you a cute story about Mr. Cullen, because originally he was Canadian. And when we had him for the first time, I think the only time in Canada, he was like, "Colin, give me some Swiss Chalet," and he loves the Swiss Chalet sauce, right? Absolutely loves it, and he really needs the Swiss Chalet, right? So now he's come to a few of our U.S. shows, so I will go to the grocery store, I will buy Swiss Chalet sauce, I will bring it to him in the States. So when I see him, I gave him the sauce. He's there signing autographs for like 30 hours a day, and I bring him the sauce as a gift, and his face just lit up. He goes, "Oh my God, you just absolutely made my day with Swiss Chalet sauce." So that's my little Peter Cullen story. What a fantastic
That's so
person.
cool.
And then as another random guest, Jerry Hauser, the voice of Sandstorm. So he's a big hockey guy, right? Massive hockey guy. I'm a big hockey guy, big Leafs fans. I know a lot of Bruins fans around this call. So yeah. But
That's right, baby.
you know, we got talking hockey, and he was in Slapshot. He was a character in Slapshot. And we just got talking hockey, and we just hit it off. And you know, in Toronto, we hit it off. He signed like 15 things for me. Like, oh, here, like, you know, total great dude. And then when I saw him again in LA, totally remembered me. I have a custom-made Autobot Springer jersey that I had made, and I showed off to him. That was the coolest thing. So Jerry Hauser is kind of one of my favorite guests. I've actually, because I'm so behind the scenes, like I don't get a lot of time FaceTime with the guests outside of, you know, quick hi bye during the panels. So when I get, you know, sometimes the staff dinners and stuff, we get to kind of sit down and kind of mingle with them. And so he's one I've really connected with really well. And then the last one I'll mention, obviously, God bless him, but Derek Wyatt, right? When animated was, you know, booming, and he was a couple of TFCons in a row and showcasing, you know, the show and his passion for it. He really was one of us, right? And that's why I think that show was so good, because it was just pure fandom making fandom, and it was he was a really, really great dude and a really big loss for obviously for us, but great show and a great guest.
I love that. That's a hell of a way to end your list, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for making us emotional. Yeah. So we got a few more. Who wants to spill the beans?
I think I can go next. I know for me, one of my most memorable ones was Stephen Keener, who voiced Scorponok, Hardhead. So I think, I can't remember which show it was, but it was his first TFCon, and him, his wife, and his daughter came. So they have no idea what to expect, what's going on. And it took us like a little while to get a hold of them, because I think the internet had kind of written that, Stephen Keener passed away and this, that, and the other. So like my job was just to kind of like let them know, like, you know, let people know your story. You know, people like, you know, right now it's written that you've passed on, but you haven't. You're here. You know, tell us what you've been up to or what you've done, and you know what got you to TFCon and what other stuff that you've been doing and stuff like that. And so when it was his panel, he was talking to us about his stint in the Navy, and he was there on the boats during the Cuban Missile Crisis. So he was a part of history, and like all these other stuff that like he was just a journeyman. He was doing all this other stuff. You know, he had to provide for his family and things like that. And it was just a really riveting and just lovely story. And his family was really fun. I remember his daughter was big into The Simpsons, and I introduced her to the Frink. Was it Frink? What's the website? You type in anything from The Simpsons, any line you remember floating around your head, and it'll give you the episode, the this, the that, and everything.
That's awesome.
So that was one of my favorite, just rememberable. And then, you know, after that, basically his Wikipedia page filled up. It was just like
That's so cool. So
That-
cool.
That is awesome. John, you're the last one, my friend.
All right. So, when I was doing kind of guest liaison, my first one was Greg Berger, and I've got such a big
Sweetheart.
soft spot. Oh, he's an amazing man, and I mean,
Yep.
Dinobots have always been my favorite. So to meet someone who was just so genuinely kind to the guests, who's an absolute riot and just full of life, and just lived up to exceeded every expectation you ever have of a guy. And again, it's so humble too, because in previous shows he'd come up and he'd ask, and he'd remember my name, he'd remember the things that I'm into, ask about board games and things like that about me. So Greg Berger is one of my all-time greats. And a lot of the G1 guys, because I took over emceeing the panel room a couple of years ago. And one of my first years I started, I was an MC for Peter Cullen's panel, which was amazing and totally incredible. But a lot of G1 guys always told me how chaotic Frank Welker was, including Greg Berger. So everyone had prepared me to finally meet Frank Welker. And his first panel that I had with him, just him solo, it was kind of like trying to catch lightning in a bottle, because Frank is just such a character himself, and he's all over the place. But again, such a warm, beautiful souled kind of guy, just amazing to watch, to share laughs with, to share a hug with. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about him. Now, my last one, I want to give a shout out to a writer, and it's Michael Charles Hill. Now he wrote the Gambler episode, the episode where we meet DevCon. And I believe the first TFCon he ever attended, I don't think he realized how many of his core concept ideas from that episode live on in today's fiction. So it's one of my first panels that I did, and I kept summarizing what he had brought to the fandom. And I had this big kind of list of things at the end of that panel, including, introducing DevCon and kind of per facto, like introducing like the mercenary, kind of allegiance. And I think we talk about sparks and protoforms as kind of like early concepts in some of his writing. So it was really cool to see that realization in him, that he kind of started connecting with the audience and seeing that his ideas were still living today in our fandom. That was just a really magical moment, I think, for everyone in the room that day. So shout out to him as well. Love
That's
everyone
awesome.
that we worked with, but those ones really stood out above.
Yeah. And that sounds great. I mean, all the guests, it seems like overwhelmingly it's a very positive experience. I know most times in most conventions, you may have that one or two it's okay. That's where I'll leave it at. It's okay. But most of them are very positive. What I love about them too is they're so humble. They're like, man, cause like when I was like, I think meeting Gary Chalk in Orlando, and I was like, man, you were awesome. And he goes, man, you're awesome for watching. And and he's just like, just throws it back, saying, if it wasn't for the fans, I mean, I wouldn't be here or anything like that. So it's really cool. That you guys get to spend this time and you got so many of these great stories. And what's great is you're probably got all these people, like you said, some of y'all 2004, 2007, 2010. And I'm waiting to see who's 2025 that comes on that says, man, this is something I want to do. 2027 that comes on, because this is a passion, and people would just love just to share their passion on that. So Billy, I'm off my soapbox now. You can go on.
No, you're all good, man. I want to say TFCon Baltimore was actually my first show, the one that
was a fun one.
Passed, and that was a great time. I checked in right next to
I did
Bob
think I was going to
Budiansky,
get shot walking to my hotel, though.
And he looked at me like, what the hell is this guy smiling at me for? But it was still nice. And Michael Bell was there, and he was like the sweetest person. Like, he took so much time, like, that he didn't need to take. And there's no other way to put it. So I have a lot of nice things to say about him. And as Larry said, I think, Larry, I believe, said it was Aaron Archer was so cool. Like, so cool. Like, the stuff he was willing to talk about and share, like, off his regular time was just
Yeah.
amazing. So every guest that you guys bring in, obviously they seem to truly care about the fans. But what I love is it felt like home, right? I go to TFCon Baltimore. It's my first convention in years. And you walk in and everybody that works for you guys, they're all very warm and welcoming, right? And the organization, the way everything went was super smooth, super clean. But the people, everybody that attended, like I was like, I could bring my kids here and they're going to have a good time. Or I can come with a group of friends and we're going to have a good time. It just felt like there was something for everybody. And I just like that sense of balance that you and your team like bring to our community. And how on earth do you manage to run 3 shows and keep them so well balanced?
I think
Because it could get messy. Like you've got a lot going on in those 3 days.
Mm.
It's not like, oh, here's a
Yeah.
dealer room and a couple, panels. Like, you guys
As
have a
well
lot
as
going
you got
on. And
regular jobs too, right? So that you got to do too as well. So how do you balance it all?
I think the most important thing to take away here is we work really well as a team, and there's so many more than just the few of us that are on here. There's 20 more people involved at any given time that are working on it. And Colin Douglas, he's the organizer. Colin does work on TFCon every single day. There's not one day he's not doing something for TFCon, and he's very organized. He's very meticulous. And he runs a tight ship, and we bust his chops a lot, but
Only because you
it's
love him.
because he does it so well. Yeah, exactly. We love him, but he runs. He's a Swiss watch. It runs smooth for a reason, and he knows how to wrangle the herd.
Yeah.
And we all do it by extension. I do the third party stuff, but I'll jump in anywhere. It's not just one thing. Like I'll jump on ticket sales. I'll jump on door. I'll jump on, moving a guest from one point to another, or alleviating someone to do whatever.
Yeah.
It takes a community as it is to help a community. So I think everyone here trusts each other, and we're comfortable with one another. And that's what makes it run so well.
Yeah, I did notice that there was nobody in your crew, and be it somebody that's just volunteering their time or part of the actual big team, that seemed like there was a bother when you were asking them for something. Like everybody seemed like they were ready to go. I will help you with whatever it is you need, and let's just make this smooth and fun for everybody. And I thought that was great.
Yeah, absolutely on that. And so, yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, I was going to say, at the end of the day, we're all fans too. And in a lot of ways, we're
Yep.
having just as much fun as you. Even if we're working, I'm still having a blast at this convention and seeing everyone and experiencing all this stuff. And again, shout out Colin. He's got a great mind for logistics and placing people where their strengths are. I do a lot of public speaking in my day-to-day job. So it was kind of naturally put me in the panel room to do a lot of the intros. Shout out to Lise, though, his wife, too. She does a lot of the back end stuff as well, and helps keep us well oiled so that we can, work together and come together just like a combiner.
And
love that.
Holly and Chantel and Dee and Melissa and Kat and McNally and ad nauseum. There's so many people that keep that stuff running smooth constantly.
That's
A lot of the interviews that
really good to know.
I get, I wouldn't be able to get without Larry and Wendell, for example. Hey, I need to talk to so and so. Can you set that up for me? And they make it happen.
Yeah.
So I have 2 people that ask questions, and Legit Baby Snuts has a very.
We might need to
detailed
narrow it
question
down a
that
little
I'm
bit.
actually- yeah, Legit Baby, I'm gonna narrow it down. So the first thing I am gonna do is Big Easy first. This coming Chicago show is Big Easy's first con. Do you have any tips or suggestions and what they can expect? And then, Baby, we're gonna go to you next.
Pace
I
yourself.
would say wait till the schedule comes out, so that you know what panels you want to go to, so then you don't miss out on anything. That's a key thing.
Now, one thing, as Larry mentions the schedule, one
was gonna
thing
say.
Colin sucks at is if you look at the
Yeah,
website probably today, it's still showing Baltimore schedule. I have urged him for quite some time. As soon as, at least at the New Year hits, take the old one down and put standby. The bones of the agenda, remain the same from a time perspective. But what falls in what section is always, very shifts, transforms, right? So to Larry's point, yeah, you have to really kind of plan out what's important to you to accomplish at the convention, right? Do you want the exclusives? So how are you going to manage making sure you get that in your pocket? Do you want to attend panels? Do you want to get autographs in? Like, what's kind of your goal? What are you into? Are you there for the toys? Are you there to meet the people? Combination of both. Everyone has their what they want to do in the fandom, right? Some people are desperate to get the one-of-a-kind Artist Alley stuff that those individuals make.
Love
right?
Artist Alley.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that you can get into, and you get overwhelmed really quick too, right? So bring lots of money, right? Because obviously, or have a budget, right? Have some reasonable goals in what you want to hunt and look for, and just enjoy the show and soak it all in at the end of the day.
That's it. I think, but the
That's
thing I
really-
didn't take away, the thing I took away is budget, because I went without a budget, and that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I was very fortunate. I went to see the people. Like I went for the community. So I only picked up the things I truly needed. I truly had the best time of my life at TFCon Baltimore. Like it felt like a full rejuvenation of who I am, and I loved it. Now, legit baby's nuts. Right? It's these nuts. This is for everyone. What's your favorite Transformer from any generation? We can't do every generation. Like that's impossible. There's not enough time for the show. But do you guys have favorites from any series, any generation, and do you have least favorites? So let's
go around the horn and start with Ryan. We'll work our way around.
Yeah.
All right. My favorite is season 1 alumni G1 Downshift. He never got enough screen time.
I was going to say that's not a common character.
Zero screen time. 0 figures in 40 years. But yeah, G1 Downshift is my favorite.
Love that.
My least favorite is probably Armada Laserbeak. That thing sat on Zeller's shelf for like 15 years. You couldn't pay someone to take that off the shelf.
No.
I still have one of those.
No, you
It was a literal brick. It's still up in the brick and mortar.
They're giving it away with free samples of Tide.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I forgot all about that thing.
Yeah, exactly. No one remembers Armada Laserbeak.
Now I'm seeing those colors, those horrific colors, and that was such a bad toy. That was so bad.
I put it on my
so
generation.
I guess we're going to rotate.
Generation 2 show.
You know what? That actually fits. That works. That works.
I have it on my knockoff shelf. Shit.
Knock off the shelf. Can it survive the
That way
fall
the
test?
cats can reach it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Knock off.
Yeah.
For me, big on Prowl and Springer. Those are my big G1 guys. So love those characters. My least favorite character, quickly, probably Transmutate.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can see that.
Transmutate.
Yeah.
I know.
Looks predator-ish, like not like predator, but like pedophile-ish, like To Catch a Predator.
Oh dear Lord! I see Chris Hansen.
Chris Hansen
coming.
coming. Chris Hansen, here, have a seat.
We call you Chris Hansen.
All right.
I'm sorry. Now that the show's off the rail,
I was gonna say mine is Jazz. Usually, just any version of Jazz is usually very awesome and very fun. Least favorite, I don't have any off the top of my head. That's a hard
I was about
one.
to say, if your least favorite is on your shelf, then
Yeah.
what in the
I know,
world?
but I'm like trying to jog
Is it just
my memory.
is it just to
problem.
remind you of the mistakes of long ago? It's like, that was when I was drinking heavily.
I don't think I have a least favorite. I don't think so. Off the top of my head,
What's the one that was like picked last in the like dodgeball line or whatever on the team? That's for you.
if
Like you're like
if I had to go toy wise, I would probably say Chug Sea Spray maybe. I know
okay.
I know I'm looking to like offload that. It's like, why did I buy that? I think I was more into the hunt of that toy than
Yeah.
actually like, yeah, I got it now.
Yeah, the hunt.
Sea Spray.
Like Hunt for Decepticons, the one with the flippers.
No. Before
That guy?
the Voyager one, the big Voyager one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That was flippers.
Yeah.
See,
I think
I don't
that's
even remember
it.
he had flippers. See, that's
Yeah.
And he was the BotCon
Yeah.
Octo Punch.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's the
Yep.
one. Yeah.
so I think that would probably be the one. Or maybe Movie Thrust. With the weird big feet.
See,
with
we
big-
have it
big
now. That
floppy
we got him
feet.
going. Let me tell you, now it's my
Yeah.
top 20.
going.
There,
These are
I
my
figured
top
out
20
one.
least
There,
favorite.
boom.
Yeah.
The spout is pouring.
All right, John, what do you got?
So I'm a big dinosaurs guy. Any kind of dinosaur character in
Yes.
the Transformers universe, I am going to buy every figure I can of that. I gotta shout out though, of course, goes to Beast Wars Dinobot because he's
Great
a raptor,
story.
but I love a good redemption arc. I love a complex
Hell
character.
yeah.
I love the sacrifice at the end. I will cry every friggin' time I watch that episode, Code of Hero. To this day, it always tugs at my heartstrings. In terms of I don't have a least favorite character. I'd say Wheelie's probably in there somewhere, but
Yeah.
my biggest disappointment in Transformers collecting,
Oh yeah.
and no offense to anyone who got the figure, enjoyed the figure, was a Transformers Godzilla crossover we got
Oh yeah.
recently.
Missed opportunity.
I have been dreaming.
Such a missed opportunity.
I have been dreaming about this crossover since the very first crossover figures. I've been dreaming of how epic it could be, how many different iterations of Godzilla, and it fell ultimately flat for me. So I didn't buy it, and that's the only version of the Studio Series Grimlock I don't have. And it pains me that we didn't get a Godzilla figure that really did the characters justice. Characters of being Transformers and Godzilla.
I know that DNA kit makes it
Fully
look
agree.
slightly better, but still not enough to get it.
Just to clarify to Legit Baby,
Agreed.
it
Agreed.
is
Yep.
Revenge of the Fallen Thrust is the one I'm talking about.
Hey.
There we go. There we go. All right, here we go.
Yeah. I'm ready for this.
Is it my turn?
I don't know if I
Yes.
am. Oh, it is.
All right. Well, I used to say that my favorite Transformer was Robots in Disguise Slapper, but since then, Aaron Archer has drawn a robot version of me. So I think I count as a Transformer now. Yeah.
Canon.
It's the crossover we're all waiting for.
I would pay
Absolutely.
good money.
I think
for
it's
that, to be
in the next
honest.
Skybound Transformers number 26. So there we go.
I
Yeah.
bet it is.
I
It
think Miss
sure
Piggy-
is.
I think Miss Piggy would be OP, just karate chopping people to oblivion.
Oh, absolutely. Her and Bulkhead would be like the perfect team up, you know?
Yeah.
All right, least favorite.
Oh, least favorite. I don't know. There must be something.
There's such an obvious figure that none of you have said, and it blows my mind that nobody.
Tell me what it is, and I'll tell you if that's the one that I was thinking of.
That Beast Machine's 3-foot tall Cheetor that couldn't even
Oh.
support its
Yeah,
own weight
that was
has
Yeah.
to be the worst.
Yeah, that's a real
the
stinker.
biggest waste of money I ever.
What's
Yeah.
impressive about Beast
Ever.
Machine's Cheetor is the smaller in scale his toy gets, the better that toy that toy
Well,
gets.
the
They just
deluxe-
nail it, and the
That-
smaller.
That deluxe, like the black one, was so good. The deluxe, like Shadow, whatever. I
Night
have to-
Slash.
Yeah, Night Slasher. That was so good. Like there was so much potential
It's
there.
The 6-inch
Yeah.
sucks so bad too.
It's just like it's
Oh,
like
so
big at the
bad.
building. I don't get it. So anyway,
Yeah.
That. All right, Larry. What about you, my friend?
My favorite characters would have to be the original twins, Sunshrieker and Sideswipe.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah. Good choice.
I really don't have a least favorite. I don't really buy a lot of retail Transformers, to be honest with you. Right now, it's because it's John's fault is Blockies.
Oh, Blockies.
I was gonna say
Blockies.
Blockies for sure.
There's a lot of people addicted to
We're
those.
all
ones now.
Blockies addicts. Yep. We're Blockies addicts. And then friggin' Jimmy turned me on to the Aldi's.
Yeah, that's
That's such a
Oh,
bad
I'm trying to
rabbit
find it.
hole. I'm so mad at him.
but like the Aldi like Gold
Yeah.
Bug looks so
It's a
good.
chase,
Yep.
though.
So
Good
good.
finding it.
Yeah.
That one's a chase one. I wanted that chase Megatron, but oh well.
It's a gold
Yeah, it
bug.
looks yeah. Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry, I had
leaning
to do
back
it.
towards convention wise, I know there's a blooper reel that y'all have, and so if any of y'all want to share, I'd love to hear like your funniest moment of TFCon. It could be behind the scenes, it could be in front of the scenes, like whatever, you know. And it doesn't have to be. Well, PG-13, it does have to be around there. But favorite, funniest moment of any TFCon you went to?
Oh man. There's so many.
Like one that just brings up every time. You know, like, you remember when this happened? You know?
The only thing I could think of is right now is Evan getting drunk at the first Baltimore and not remembering getting back to the hotel.
I knew that was going to come up.
Or even that I roomed across from him.
When I saw somebody ask, "Have you ever bought a Transformer drunk?"
Which is a
No,
great question.
Yep.
No,
but
never had.
Yeah.
but yeah, that night probably is on the same level. and
That's
I'm
awesome.
I'm not as I'm not the same age as I was 20 years ago. So those nights are harder to recover from. I need my rest now if I'm gonna go to these shows.
Absolutely.
I use a CPAP machine now. It's different. 20 years ago, I was drunk in the lobby of the DoubleTree, and I couldn't find my room key, so I just lied down in front of the fireplace, and the staff put a blanket.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
it.
That's
Yeah,
great.
we're getting old.
I do have a couple standout moments. I don't know. Well, I guess one you could call a blooper reel. There are actual blooper reels from some of the interviews. I think there's a couple of blooper highlight reels on YouTube. One of my favorite moments. I guess doesn't count as a blooper, but I got to intro the script read with Victor Caroli. And I got to read,
Yes.
it is the year 2005 kind of thing. And then he cuts me off and says, I think I'll handle this. Or, whatever the line was, I can't quite remember anymore.
I got this, Evan, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Goosebumps.
So I'm just like, oh, like this total exaggerated. And then I'd like do the walk of shame off the stage. And Victor just starts reading. I guess this might fall more into the blooper category, but I got Frank Welker autograph one year wearing my Kermit hoodie, and actually I have a picture with Frank Welker did Baby Kermit in the
I was just about to
Muppet
bring
Muppet
that
Babies.
up. Muppet Babies.
So so I have a picture of him with me and Kermit as well somewhere. But anyway, this particular tale, I'm wearing my Kermit hoodie. I get the autograph. He tells me a bit about meeting Jim Henson, and getting the role of Baby Kermit, and then I do my Kermit voice for him, and he's like, "Wow, that's good," and then nice to meet you, see you later. Then during his panel, I'm trying to get back to my seat. I don't want to block anybody's view, so I'm crawling across the floor. and Peter Cullen, he like kind of leans forward. What? And Frank's like, sir. And Peter's like, nobody feed that dog. and then Frank, because I guess I'm like hopping across the floor. I don't know, but I'm all crouched down. And Frank's like, Are you doing your Kermit thing right now?
That's
That's
funny.
awesome.
And then I'm like, no, like I'm trying not to cause a scene. Like I'm not here. And Frank turns to the crowd and goes, he does a very good Kermit, everybody. And I'm just like, and then he's like, okay. And then, back into the show. But like, I'm still like, half crouched on the floor. Like, did that just happen? And so I guess I would put that under a blooper reel because it wasn't,
You're crawling on the floor of
Yeah,
the lobby.
like-
Yeah, it's a blooper reel,
Yeah.
brother.
That's it. That's awesome. Anybody else?
That's great.
One I remember was I think Gary Chalk was doing a panel at the start of the show. Did we ever do panels like on the Friday? I think we did once or twice or
We
something
had
like
the
that.
occasional curtain jerk around the Friday, yeah.
And so they're handing around the mic around the crowd and everything, and then all of a sudden someone's like, excuse me, sir, I wanted to know if who would win in an ice cream eating battle, Papa Smurf and he names a character that Gary played in Stargate SG-1, and then all of a sudden like you hear just like gnawing on the microphone, and you're like, what the heck? And then Gary starts actually answering the question. He's like, oh, well, that character I played was actually Russian, so he could probably handle the cold pretty well. And then, but the person that asked the question was Paul Eiding.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's so
goofing
funny.
around.
I have
saw that
footage of
clip.
all that too. I think that's on YouTube.
That's on YouTube because
Yeah.
I
So
watched that.
And
So
it's,
I
it's
remember it
fantastic because it caught me off guard.
Mhm.
And so I've got another camera. This was a Toronto show, I think, and
Yeah.
I've got another camera, and I'm like scrolling through the crowd. Where's Paul? Like I'm trying to find him.
because
And,
I
and
remember
it all
that
worked out. It was
because
good.
Paul, I was
Sorry,
sitting
Wendell, go
down and
ahead.
Paul Eiding kind of came across me. That's why I remember it.
Another good Gary
That's
bit
great.
was one of the script reads. And I don't know how many people know this, but Beast Wars in Canada originally aired as Beasties on YTV because war was too violent
Yep.
in the title or however whatever the
The wars
reasoning
for
for that
children.
was.
You hippies.
So before the script read, we had sort of a recap of what was leading into this story. So at the start of it, we had Gary say, "Last time on Beasties," and I always thought that was really cool. But maybe that's just me because I'm super nerd. But I
No,
love
that's
it.
fun.
That's great. That's great. Anybody else have one that they want to share? They're like, oh, this has to come out. This
Somebody's trying to keep out of trouble too.
Yeah,
I
they're-
think.
I got one that's not necessarily
Maybe
13.
not like
So
a-
if you come and see me at Con Chicago, I'll do that in person.
there we go.
It involves Dick Roche,
I think we're at
voice of Hot
we're at
Rod.
10:28. We could do.
Yeah, we're at 10:28. We can go for it. Go for it, man. Just tell us.
You could go dirty.
Okay, so
Judd Nelson, what did he do to you?
this was pretty early on in me working on staff, and one year we had Dick Gauthier, the voice of Rodimus Prime in seasons 3 and beyond, and we had Jack Angel, and both are older gentlemen who've worked together for years and years and years. Amazing guys, both have great senses of humor. But towards the end of the day, Dick Gauthier's line depletes. He was signing a bit faster than Jack Angel, so Jack Angel's still signing, and Dick Gauthier gets into the line, and the best bloopers are always the voice actors playing pranks on each other, and Jack Angel like kind of only half paying attention because he's signing everything. Dick Gauthier comes up and like in his best fan voice, Mr. Angel, would you please sign my penis? And then just the blowback of Jack Angel, and then the realization, it was Dick Gauthier just totally messing with him.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
That's
That's
funny.
And none of us knew it
I'd love to
either.
be
We're
a
just like,
fly
oh
on
my
the
god,
wall.
yeah, okay, he said that. Right on.
I think
I
there's
know-
footage of Alan Oppenheimer somewhere signing a Funko Pop, with the actual. I don't know the swearing on YouTube rules, but the full on "F-U" He-Man, Alan Oppenheimer on somebody's Funko Pop.
In full character.
And I just happened to be walking by when he was signing it, so I know the footage exists somewhere, but
That's crazy.
20 years.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Oh, sorry, I got one. So
Yeah,
one
go for
year
it,
we
Paul.
had Wally Burr, And God bless that man too. He was quite the drill sergeant. And so every year we do a script read, right? And everyone gets to go up and audition for the characters they want to read as. And man, Wally Burr was treating it like a legit, like this is the day job audition for everyone. And we had to rein the guy in saying, Wally, if you treat this like everything and actually direct all these poor volunteers trying to voice act, we'll be here all night. We couldn't do it, right? So we had to like calm him down because they took us like 20 minutes to get through 2 people, and we had to like change the whole thing. But it's kind of awesome to see him in his element and really try and like say it with more meaning and do it like this, and really have people go into it. So it's really cool to watch him do his job. But at the end of the day, we had to like, no man, we got to keep the line moving. Otherwise, we're going to be here until like 3 a.m. doing the script read. So that was kind of a cool thing.
Well, I would have loved to have seen that, because that would have been like magic, man, just to see that mind work. That's so cool.
I think one of the well, it's not really a blooper, but something that's always reoccurring is whenever we have the not the voice reading, script reading, and Starscream is on the docket. I know all the AV guys have to like plug their ears because everyone's going to do high pitched, loud Starscream. And like one time I just want to go there and just do just the opposite, just low energy, just my name's Starscream. I should be leading the Decept. I want to do that, but I'm always busy working.
Like an Eeyore.
Yeah, exactly. Just low energy, just like
whatever.
Who probably deserves a shout out is the guy that dresses as the Swedish chef and does the script read auditions.
That is awesome.
He does a bang on
Swedish chef,
and it's hilarious.
Oh,
that is so awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes he hangs out with Kermit here.
And Evan, go for it.
No stories about Alan Oppenheimer. I mean, sorry, not Alan. Sorry, no, nothing about Arthur. Nothing about soup.
No,
I don't know any of the soup stories now.
Nothing about his
the
belt.
other things you
You don't have anything to say about Burkhart's belt.
Billy, we just gotta
that
sit
was
back
Wendell.
down. Just let
That
it
was
go.
Wendell. That wasn't me.
So I'm actually listening for Larry's like moment, because
I'm putting you on blast there. You got good stories.
Arthur was
You've been
just
so quiet with this one.
Arthur was just I got stuck with him because I wasn't even supposed to be his guest liaison. The other two just disappeared. And Wendell made me sit with him, and it was a headache from the second I got there till he quit on me half a dozen times. He would take like 20 minutes to sign each person's thing, and then he would mess it up and get mad at himself. Oh, it was just,
but that was his first
man.
time, though. That was his first time. I know when we had him again in LA, his like energy level was way higher. He had a lot of fun. He actually said goodbye to the whole team, like when we were doing our staff photos and everything. And he just rode off into the sunset. It was really amazing. That one. He was like, "Love you, people. Love you, baby. I'll see you again next time." And he just off into the sun. And we were like, "Wow, there goes that man."
So Colin picks on me every time he brings Arthur. It's like keeps telling me I'm going to go back with him, and I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I got to pick Arthur up from the train station, as I was mentioning before, calling me like, "Okay, Arthur's here. You got to go pick him up, but get the car as close as you can and walk him down and carry his stuff for him." I said, "That's no problem. I'm happy to do it." Well, I pick Arthur up. He's like, "Are you here? You picking me up?" I said, "Yeah, I'm here." "All right, you late?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm late. I wasn't late, but yeah, sure, you're right. I'm wrong. Let's go." So I'm walking him down, and I put all of his stuff in the back of the car, and he's like, do you have I forget his agent's name. Let's just say Michelle. "Do you have Michelle's number?" I said, "Yeah, I do." He's like, okay, here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to call her, and you're going to act real panicked and worried. And you're going to say, "Arthur told me to F off, and he took off, and I can't find him. Like, he's too fast." Like, "Arthur, I don't think she's going to believe you." He's like, "Just do it, man. Do it." So I call her back, and Arthur's in the passenger seat at this point. And I said, "Oh my God, Michelle," it went sideways. Arthur freaked out. He got back on the train. He left. He cussed me out in front of people. He was throwing shit at me. And she's like, "Oh my God, oh no, I got to call him." And then he's going like this to me. He's just going, So I just let it go dead air, and he's like, "Gotcha, bitch!" I was like, that's the
Impish.
Arthur I love. Is he just wants to prank people. He just wants to have a good time. And he was so happy. He was like slapping the dashboard. He was so happy. He was laughing hard the entire way. And then every time I'd see him in the hallway, or I'd see him in the showroom floor, we just kind of like shoot a little wink and gun. Like I appreciate his sense of humor, taking the piss out of people.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I think that's fantastic. That's my kind of humor. So
Yeah,
That is great. That is
I
great.
know one of the crazier things that happened was it our first Chicago or second Chicago where the Cubs won the World Series?
The second one.
It was the
Second
second
one,
one.
yeah.
So I was like
second.
in the lobby area. It was like a very open area, and all I heard was, and then the whole and I look over to where the bar is. I'm like, they won. They won. They broke. Oh my god.
That's great. That's awesome. That is awesome.
So just to be in Chicago for that
That is a
crazy.
cool moment. I mean, say, because of course you remember Back to the Future 2, where his Cubs win the World Series,
Yeah.
right? And then this is like, oh, this is the prophecy has been fulfilled, So, but I do want to change gears a little bit because I know we're getting close to time here. I do want to ask, because one of the things that I love about TFCon too is the merchandising. So all the vendors, all the kind of everything that's there. So it's pretty much, if you are looking for it, you may find it there. Now, y'all have been to plenty of TFCon, so I'd love to hear like your best get. Like, what is your best deal that you got? You saw something, a vendor had it, and you're like, man, this is going home with me, no matter the cost. Or maybe you like, ha 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 ha, he didn't know what he had, So
Ryan's pointing at that.
Ryan Belton.
Yeah, I know exactly what that is. Yeah. If anyone knows me, the best thing I ever picked up from TFCon.
oh
was my wife.
wow,
Hey,
nice.
baby.
That's it. That's
It's done.
the
Thank you,
score.
guys.
Yeah, 100%. Can't touch it. Can't touch it. Met my wife at TFCon. I didn't even get to talk to her the first time I met her, if that makes any sense. Every time I try to approach her, so I just get stopped and pulled away. I remember one time I was like, all right, I'm getting myself, I'm going to go talk to her. And then Scorez just comes right in my face. He's like, I need you over here. She here. Because we're having issues with the lights.
In my head, I
The whole
envisioned
weekend I
it
tried
more like
to talk to her, and I just didn't get a
MidCon.
chance. And then I were on Facebook from a mutual friend. We were talking about Shreddies because she didn't know what the hell Shreddies are. Shreddies are Canadian cereal. And and it snowballed from there. And now I am her trophy husband.
Good.
That's
Holy
awesome.
shreddies.
I love that.
That is awesome.
I don't. Hey, Kermit, can you sing "Escape"?
What?
Can you sing "Escape"?
Oh,
Escape? What's that?
Escape.
The song.
Escape.
If you like
Getting
pina
caught in
coladas,
the rain. If you had half a brain, if you like making love at midnight in the dunes on the Cape, then I'm the love that you've. Is something cut off there? Looked for right to me and
There we go. There we go.
Sorry,
I
I
know,
had to do it.
I
I had
know.
to do it. I don't know
Yeah.
how anybody's going to beat
I
Ryan's
didn't quite
Yeah.
story,
realize
though.
what was happening.
I don't know how they're going to beat a story though either, but you know what? Let's see if let's go with the second
Let's
best
see.
now. Let's see what we got here. All that because Ryan,
I got a
yeah,
toy.
you got a toy. Not yeah, your best toy you got. Who wants to go? No,
I'll go. So when the first TFCon I went to, so after the first TFCon, I always started making a list, right? Like you're going to see everything you want to see, and you're going to want to drop money on everything. So I always make a list, like my priorities. One thing that was my priority, because it wasn't released in Canada, we didn't have Target at the time, was the Transformers Universe Nemesis Prime, the black woolly mammoth convoy repaint. I thought that thing was, man, I wanted that on my shelf so bad. And I spent years and years looking for that. First time volunteering, 2009, a couple of years later, I'm stapling program guides, and I'm doing this till like midnight. And one of the guys I was volunteering with, we were talking about what figures you looking for this weekend, and we kind of talked, this and that. And I said, well, I'm looking for Transformers Universe Nemesis Prime, the black big convoy repaint. And the guy says, dude, my buddy right here sitting beside me has that. He's looking to trade that to someone. Would you do $20 for that?
But
Sold,
20
done.
bones for a big
Yeah,
combo?
I
Yes.
guess.
That's the easiest deal in the world.
Sealed in package, perfect. And that's been in my case. That's one of my prized possessions since that day. And it was the first
The
year I
paint scheme.
volunteered too, so it felt right.
That's great.
Yeah, the color scheme on that figure is fantastic.
Spot on. Can't wait for the repaint we get of the next figure.
I can't wait for the next figure, to be honest.
Yeah. Long overdue.
Yeah, I agree. Any more Grail stories like that, guys?
I would
For
think
now.
for me it would be the third party Bruticus, like when third party really started, or just add-on kits and stuff like that. So you got like
Crossfire.
yeah, the Crossfire one. I think that one was that was a nice get. I was like, oh man, I gotta find this version of Bruticus from this movie, and okay, all right, I gotta get these two, and oh my god, am I gonna get it? I did it, and I put them all together. It's really awesome.
It was a big feeling back then, right? That and the Parallax kit for Ultra Magnus, like that was a big thing.
That Parallax kit, man,
And
that's the first third party piece I ever bought. Right? That was that Ultra Magnus armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I went to Target and they had the Ultra Magnus and Skywarp 2-pack, and I picked that up. And I'm the guy that doesn't like Ultra Magnus as a white cab. Like that is like, that's a no. And when that armor got announced, I think I bought that the second you could from Big Bad Toy Store, I think was who was selling it. And putting that together, it was such a treat, and staring at it. And even though it wasn't cartoon accurate, and then somebody else, did they come out with the Rodimus Prime like right after that?
That was their next big one.
Protector.
Yeah. I picked that up too. That was like my introduction to 3P, or however you want to put it out there. And it was so cool.
I do have another a little bit of a Grail find, if you don't mind me throwing another one on the list there.
Go for it.
No, please, please. We love
hunting for dinosaurs. I really wanted the Dinobots set from the Beast Machines and all those repaints.
Yeah.
And I was slowly hunting them all down. And then after years of searching, I found a guy with a mint in box Rapticon.
Oh,
wow.
And I was like,
nice.
Dude, I've been looking for this for like 10 years. How much do you want for that? $25.
What?
Done. Like,
Man, money
So
on the table.
the next TFCon I go to, I'm just gonna throw you with
That's what I'm gonna do too. Because every time I talk to someone, they're like $1 million. Like they're Dr. Evil.
Yeah. And I'm gonna give you just a little checklist of what's missing.
I will do my best, but those are literally probably the 2 times I got good deals. I get decent deals. I mean, all the vendors are very, very kind and friendly, and are fans too, for the most part.
Yeah. Every vendor booth that I went to is pretty cool. Especially like Baltimore, there was that guy that was like basically selling like his kids' old toys at a table. Like it was just like a little garage sale on a table. And I was like, this is too cool. I think I just bought something to like support the guy. I just thought it was too cool. Can I cut you guys off real quick? Because John Doe's saying he heard there was a wedding at TFCon. Is this true? Has there been a wedding at TFCon?
Yeah, Mike Herring.
Really?
There we go.
Wasn't it? The Fiend?
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
Mike?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then just got a Rapticon.
Nice.
Love
I'd
that
have to say TFCon, like when I got back into Transformers, I just didn't know there was life outside of Hasbro. But when I went to TFCon, it was just like this Xanadu, it was just like, look at all this stuff and then all these different companies and things like that. And I think that's what's really cool about these conventions is it really does. If you're getting back into, and all you know is like, oh, the vintage toys back in the day, or Transformers universe, or whatever it is, then you go, it really does open your eyes to how much love some of these third-party companies put in to these figures, and you get these things that remind you of your childhood. It's just like, wow, it just takes you back. And I think for me, that's what's really cool about TFCon. It really introduced me to the third party stuff, and that's been great. Nothing wrong with Hasbro. I still collect Hasbro. Hasbro's just the grandfather and things like that. But those third party ones, man, thank you all for bringing those guys in and things like that.
Hell, absolutely. Like, I look more forward to the TFCon announcements than the Comic-Con
Ryan, your
announcements.
panel is like the one that just it's like everyone's hooting and hollering, and it's like, woo, yeah, fans toy, yeah, whatever it is, and then but it's a really cool to see the rabid fandom on all of that stuff.
Now,
it's been pretty wild to see all that stuff over the years, and to see all the stuff that's come out, how quickly some's come out, or how long it's taken announcements to come out, or things that just never happened in the first place. And I've got to meet a lot of cool people through third party. And, you asked earlier, who was your favorite, guest? And, I kind of be remiss to not mention the third party people that have actually come to the shows, like Signe from Fans Project and Make Toys, or Esmond and the designers from MMC, or Phil from Bold Forms. I mean, I think everyone knows Bold Forms Gladius was a Megatron, that's for sure.
Hell yeah.
And it lives on in infamy. But like, it was one guy did everything himself, and more power to the guy. I think that's like one of my favorite memories of third party there is just he and his wife flew down and put everything on the table. And, they came out with that, and they came out with a Motormaster, and that was it. But that was just to show the tenacity and the ingenuity that some people can have to bring this stuff to life, and how many people just keep trying today.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, you guys give them such a good forum to present on, and I think you guys can kind of give yourselves a little bit of a pat on the back for helping that third party fire spread, because there's so much news that comes through just your TFCon shows. Like, truly, like, you'll show pictures off, and then all of a sudden shows these stores got them like ready to go. Yeah. Pre-order right now
using BTK.
Yeah.
It's always fun to see the panel,
Jimmy
and then
G, come on,
1,000 other people sharing the images, and like, I don't get one mention. but that's part of it. Like, I like to help share it all, and it's hard not to want to recreate those big moments from San Diego Comic-Con, of like the big reveals and hearing the crowd go wild. Like, that's fun stuff to be a part of.
hell yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I do this. This has been asked several times, and I'm very sorry, guys. But before the show ends, I would be doing the people in the chat a disservice if we don't ask. Who's your favorite collab figure? John Doe's.
I would say this. I would add a stipulation to that. Favorite collab, whether now or one that's coming out.
I'll tell you right now, when Airwolf drops, it's over.
I mean, one that's been announced, Billy. That hasn't been announced yet.
In my mind, it's coming. All right. With an Ernest Borgnine face.
That would be great. That would be great.
All right. Sorry, guys.
It's a toss-up. I really like the Mandalorian one, and I really like Knight Rider. I mean, Knight Rider was my jam as a kid, so it's so good.
Yeah. We have yet to get a Magnum PI.
Oh,
with a Tom Selleck face.
You have to get a Kermit one.
That's true.
Yeah, robotic.
I would buy a
cool,
Kermit.
right?
It's number one on my.
it'd be cool with the Magnum PI when he goes into his alt form, his robot form. It's like a Hawaiian
that would be
print
great.
Or something. Like they managed to get that going.
And it's got to have the stash, man.
But I can see that not happening just because it's Ferrari.
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirts and Ferrari.
Well,
Or just have some
No, I'm
fuzz,
sorry.
like that Beastman fuzz going for, like, or Mossman fuzz, right?
Yeah, flock. Like a flock chest.
Yeah.
Flock. Yes. They got a
That's
flock
it.
chest. But yeah, do you guys have favorite collabs?
I'm a big X-Men guy, so I like that, Blackbird.
That X-Jet was pretty cool.
Transformer.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that big bastard up there.
I'll
I'm all
go,
about the
next.
G.I. Joe collabs. I love those. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
No, you go. You go. Yeah.
The G.I. Joe collabs. I love those. The Ecto one and the DeLorean. And I don't know if it's real or not, but there's some leaked designs leaked. I don't know whether it's legit, but the designs for is a Skeletor transform into the Land Shark or Megatron or something like that from Masters of the Universe.
I think those were just shops, but it'd be cool if they did.
Yeah,
Autocorrect primer.
because they've
will
got the
jump in if
Mattel
those are
side,
real.
so there should be a Hasbro thing, right?
So
Yeah, eventually it just makes sense.
Autocorrect Primer has stated to us several times that Hasbro has the end of this deal where they are going to do the vehicles transforming, where Mattel's going to get the weird body armor stuff, and then Hasbro's going to have the He-Man vehicles that transform into key characters.
I mean, it makes sense.
So there you
right?
go. Here you go, Derek.
That's
There he is.
real.
That's real. This guy is so He-Man. He's got He-Man underwear, bed sheets, you name it. He
Booty
lives,
shorts.
breathes, and sleeps He-Man.
Anybody else have a good collab that they like? I know for me, I'm really looking forward to the Zoids one. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, most of the time I don't collect many collabs, but I did get the Monster Hunter ones that I can't wait to open up and try out, because that Monster Hunter games were cool. And I was like, oh yeah, that looks pretty cool on that. So I've got them. They're in the box. Billy yells at me all the time, why don't you get it out of the box? I said, first I got to cut a hole in the box and then I'll, anyway, but anyone else?
I was going to say the Turtle Party Van, dude.
Turtle Party Van. Yes.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. Party Wallop. Yeah.
That's
I see He-Man Pretenders in the
Party
chat.
Wall?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sign me up. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Pizza. The
He-Man
the
Pretenders is
Surfer
awesome.
Boy Pizza one was crap though. That was horrible. That Stranger Things one.
Yep.
Yeah,
That was bad.
didn't really appeal to me. I do love Gigawatt. I gotta give Gigawatt some love.
yeah.
That was it just looks so good in vehicle.
Yep. Gigawatt's great.
I
I
did
know.
really enjoy the Jurassic Park one.
And it's fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah. We have a couple of them. Quite like I still have one like sealed in package. Because Stace loves Jurassic Park so much.
I'm
hard not to-
such a Jurassic Park fanboy. Like I love me some dinosaurs.
I just wish it would have turned into Wayne Knight.
right. But no, it's just mine were so
One of
loose
them
and
did.
flimsy. My collabs were so loose and flimsy that I couldn't enjoy the figures. And while the designs are great, the finished product that I received was not worth my time. And so I don't like the Jurassic Park collabs.
That's crazy. Oh, I know
Sorry.
one. The Drift MMC. Was it MMC? Ocular Max put out that Drift. That was the initial D.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Initial
Money.
Yeah. I was like,
so nice.
that was beautiful. That was that one right there.
Yeah,
That one right there. Not the new one that they have out. That one right there is amazing.
so that's the whole line, by the way. That the Infinity, if I'm saying it right, Infinite Infinity. That's the gimmick. It's popular
That's great.
vehicles.
That's pretty cool.
So that's
I would like to see.
I've seen a tease for what the next one is. I can't say anything yet, but if it goes through,
Blink
it's gonna
twice
go.
if it's Airwolf. No, I'm just kidding.
That's not Airwolf. I don't know. I thought Gigawatt was a good size, like a deluxe
what she
transformer.
said.
Like pair him up with Sideswipe, right? Sideswipe. I figure he would be with Sideswipe and Sunstreaker on some kind of mission. Is what I always saw Gigawatt doing. So I think the size
Well-
works well. Ectotron,
And it
I
kept the
thought
price
should have been
down.
bigger, personally. Yeah, no, it did. And Ectotron was fun, back and forth, like
Yeah,
good figure.
absolutely. But
Larry, what about you? I haven't heard from you in a minute. I want to hear your favorite collab.
Would probably have to be the Gigawatt only because it's the sideswipe bolt.
yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
I'm kicking myself because I got that Gigawatt signed by Christopher Lloyd, and then
Why are you kicking
because
yourself?
I got rid of it. That's why I'm kicking myself.
shit.
I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
So
Did you
Huh?
put it after? Did you light it
No,
on fire?
I
You
had
got
to
it.
sell
I
it.
need it.
I had to sell it. It was
Win-win.
bills, and I was
Win-win.
just like, "Oh, this will fetch some money." So
But that's something that'll fetch money after he passes.
that's
You
true.
hold on to it. No, I'm
How
joking.
dare you, sir? How dare you besmirch Uncle Fester? How dare you, sir?
I just watched those movies with my kids this
that's it.
weekend.
Angels in the outfield. So
Oh yeah,
I
ow.
was frozen
that's
today.
it. That's it. I still love him as what's his name from
That's-
Taxi? Gosh, Reverend Jim. Yeah, Reverend Jim. Anyway, I'm aging myself. I'm 5 years away from getting that IHOP senior discount, so I'm looking forward to
Nice.
that so much.
Enjoy it.
That's it. But
You've
that's
earned
right.
it, Jimmy.
But
You've
we're getting
earned it.
ready to come up on the end of it. So just the last question. What's on the horizon for TFCon? I know you all got Chicago, you're doing that, but what are some things that you're like, man, this is something I'd like to see happen in the future?
TFCon Hawaii.
And introduce that
Let's do it.
introduce that Magnum PI.
And remember,
Yeah.
TFCon's paying for it, so let's go.
Can we get on
Thank
that
you, man.
team?
Yep. It's open invitation.
Love it.
That's it.
Love it.
That's it.
I think one thing we're seeing, we've seen a shift in the fandom, right? I think initially, there'd always be a G1, there's always be a Beast Wars, would be the go-to for Colin, and we mix it with some comic writers and artists, and that would be the con. But now, with 40 years of content, Unicorn Trilogy, kind of, that generation of fans kind of coming back to it. You see third party making more of those toys. The popularity of Transformers 1 seems to be, running very well through the fandom. Like that was like the voted movie. We gave 3 options for movies to watch in Toronto, and TF1 won unanimously.
It's a great
right?
movie.
So I think where the diversity of the fandom, diversity of the content. So we're bringing in everyone from every universe now, right? We're showcasing more, so you have that everything for everyone dynamic as best you can. I know it's always impossible to make everybody happy, but I think that's the growth of where we're going to go. Is we're going to continue to kind of buck the trend, and also some of the kind of anniversary type of, like, let's say a Beast Wars anniversary is coming, so maybe our guests are going to be like, let's have a Beast Wars like reunion cast thing where you have a lot of those characters.
You're speaking
together,
Billy's language,
right? Yeah,
I'm drooling here. Like Beast Wars to me is the greatest series.
It is one of them for sure. And the great thing about that cast is like the G1 casts are great, and a lot of the key characters are great, but for a lot of those guys, it was a gig, right? And they were doing 1,000 different shows back in the 80s. For the Beast Wars cast, like they were a very tight knit ensemble, recorded in the same room all the time cast, and when they get together, they're just beauties, right? Absolute beauties. That kind of group, and because today's generation, everyone gets kind of records on Zoom and Teams and whatever. It's less kind of involved, right? So that cast is a really special kind of connection to them, more than any other cast, I think, in the fandom. So when you see them get together, I think it's a really special thing. So I think those are some of the things you'll see. Like, if we're looking at anniversary seasons or continue to build on the very diversity of the different medium that Transformers has, is kind of where the future is going to gear itself towards.
That's awesome. Very cool.
There's something I need to say. I'm so sorry. You guys have thrown these amazing events and these amazing cons. And I don't know, like maybe there's people in the chat that haven't been there. You guys have done such a great job of keeping it affordable.
Yes,
and I think
I would
some
agree.
recognition needs to be put there that when you go to TFCon, you don't break the bank on admissions. You don't break the bank in the dealer room. Even like the dealers are affordable. Like, I just want to say thank you for making this an event for everybody. Like truly, like it's just an affordable event, even on a 3-day pass. It's just mind blowing with today's economy and where things are that you're able to keep things the way they are. So thank you.
Well, thank you for saying that. We'll be sure to pass that on to the powers that be.
Yep.
Colin and Lise. They do all they can to keep the prices as low as they are, and that's trying to be as inclusive to as many fans as possible, and some of that includes how much you can put aside to go to a show like this, to take the time off your life to come to here and go to there and do a show and spend a weekend there and it adds up for a lot of people. So you got to try and keep it as affordable as you can so that everyone has a chance to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you guys do that. So I just had to thank you for that. Like, that is just big to me. Now, as Jimmy G did say, we are going to be wrapping up soon.
We turn
it's
into
about
pumpkins
that
after
time.
11, so
Yeah.
Eastern.
It is what it is. But like,
Understandable.
obviously we've got some TFCon websites that haven't been updated. Where can the people here that are watching, where can they get their updates and see what's coming and what to expect? Is it like a Facebook thing? Is it a Instagram thing? Like, where can they get the most up-to-date TFCon information, guys?
I would have to say Facebook is the most.
Yep.
We get it shared.
That tends to be where we share all of our stuff first.
Yeah, we get it shared in our group,
Okay.
and then we share it all in Facebook.
Yes.
Okay.
And it gets shared on Twitter as well, but Facebook is the primary location for that information.
Yeah, there's a TFCon group page. I can't remember how the Facebook things work, but
Facebook
group page or event page.
Yeah.
There's a TFCon discussion page. Yeah, and then the websites tfcon.com, tfcon.ca, and tfconla.com. Is that the other one?
Yep.
Yeah,
Did I cover them all?
I think
Did I
it's
get them
just
all?
TFCon.
Yeah.
Is it?
Don't you
Awesome.
run them?
That's awesome. So, well, we are going to wrap it up, folks. So thank you, everybody that came out to participate. Thank you, all of y'all, our special guests. I've got 7 new friends, I guess. Wait, no, I'm counting wrong. That's including me. 6 new friends on that, hopefully. And looking forward to seeing y'all at one of the conventions. I wish we could go to Chicago, but it just didn't work out.
Timelines didn't
Yeah,
work for me
so,
this time.
but for those y'all that are on the fence about going, just go and
go.
just have fun, because you're going to find a lot of like-minded people there on that. So
Yeah.
with that, what we're going to do is we're going to end with the way we like to end is it's kind of like we got to wait for the stream to end, so we kind of naked gun it with the freezing frame, and so we'll see